Claire, does this book look familiar to you? This is the book that we've been using for our Korean American Studies class. Hello, this is Dr. Jeff, and I'm with my amazing Korean American Studies class.
Hello everyone, my name is Claire and I'm a part of Dr. Jeff Kim's Korean American Ethnic Studies class.
And today we are off to Riverside because there's something really amazing happening. Our first ever field trip to the Dosan Anchang-ho Memorial.
And I'm so thankful for this opportunity to head out to Riverside and be able to learn more about Korean American history.
But since we're out there anyway, we're going to have 3 different locations that we're going to stop at. The first will be UC Riverside to the Colonel Young-ho Kim Korean American Studies Center, where we will meet with Dr. Ed Chang, the author of Korean Americans: A Concise History.
And we are here at UC Riverside.
Yeah, that's my latest book, and this is a translation of Korean book of late Colonel Young-ho Kim. The reason why I named this center after Colonel Young-ho Kim is that he is not only a war hero, but also more importantly, he is a humanitarian who championed the civil rights of underdogs such as racial minorities.
I just really appreciate that you wrote the book, and it's just been such a life-changing course, especially for me, because I was very lost, and after I read this book, it gave me a better insight and understanding of my own culture. Our Tell Us Your Story campaign was where students would be able to come out and share their own individual stories, no matter if they were Korean American, Hispanic, Latino, just people from various backgrounds would be able to come share their story, and they would be surrounded by an environment where it was a safe space for everyone to share their own story, where they feel comfortable. And this is my first time on a UC campus, and it's been amazing, and it's such a big campus, and I could potentially see myself here in the future. So overall, my experience has been so great so far, and we are going off to, I think, the Dosan Anchang-ho Memorial, and I can't wait for that too.
Second place we'll be going is we've been invited by the Dosan Anchang-ho Foundation. They have provided a special scholarship for our class to take a bus to go out there and have the opportunity to hear and see and experience the Peace Walk. And along this Peace Walk includes a statue of Dosan Anchang-ho along with a little bit of his story. I'll have a chance to hear the story, but what's really powerful about this is in the city of Riverside, there's must be thousands of people crossing by this place. And if you were to ask somebody, could you name a Korean American that made a difference in the United States? I bet most, even Korean Americans, might even struggle with that. But in Riverside, they're passing by this statue every day. And now the third place that we're going to be going, and I realized it was very close to this location, so we were able to get a connection with the Civil Rights Institute. And at the Civil Rights Institute is something called the Heroes, I think it's like the Local Heroes Museum. And so we're going to have a chance to see many, many different local heroes, see their stories in Riverside. But this gives me ideas for our class, like what could it look like to archive and gather the stories of our local heroes.
In 2023. So that's relatively recent. We're sort of a new kids on the block, but we've made so much headway and community in the meantime. And Homegrown Heroes is really showcased.
It's like the digital story right here. And then, oh, what is this?
So right now we have our media set up for oral history filming. So we've been doing, for upcoming exhibitions, we've been doing a lot of oral history. So we're lucky to have some in-house equipment. We have folks sit down, chat, share their stories, and then it's nice and soundproof so that we can keep things quiet. And then that's all going to be going into our archive and then hopefully be used in future exhibits. So it's all part of the work that we do. You can see the exhibit here. We're going to be making exhibits in this room. So it all sort of is part of that ecosystem that we want to create to uplift sort of the historical and then ongoing civil rights actions in our region. So
one thing that I saw at this museum was the way oral history was captured. So the entire museum itself was of local homegrown heroes, different influential people here in Riverside. They had an entire kind of like, I guess, wall of information about them, biography, but what stood out were photographs, signatures, pictures, quotations. And then the curator here, Dr. Audrey, she did a wonderful job just telling these stories one by one.
So this is our neighborhood of disability. So we have native language learning and preservation, and so we're happy to interview them
I was able to see the local heroes of Riverside, and I found that really unique because most museums don't focus on individual stories and individual history.
And I was able to get to know the story of the community through her sharing and her telling of it. And it made me think about our own Korean American Studies class or other classes where we can create spaces where there is a museum, maybe of our local homegrown heroes ourselves in our own families, where stories are told by the docents who would be the students of our district.